Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to be stressing the area that's been irritated for a good 2 weeks until it's been pain-free for about 2 weeks. Because if you start stressing it, then it's sort of like, all right, you're irritating it a little bit, and then later on in the day, you'll probably notice some soreness.
Right.
It's sort of like, hey, doing this to yourself, and you stop and you go, oh, it feels better because I'm not hitting it anymore. But later on in the day, that inflammation will build up, and it'll be a little bit more sore.
Right, okay. I mean, I know what you say about not doing the painful side, but I did it because it wasn't painful. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I did the other side then.
Yeah, I try to have everybody go at least 2 weeks before they start doing gentle stretches or gentle strengthening to their bad side.
Okay.
And the only time I let them move it is, say your right hip is real painful, but when you go and stretch it, there's absolutely no pain, and it's looser, more comfortable, and less restricted than your other side. So I'm always testing right side versus left side, and whichever one is easier, looser, more comfortable, less restricted, and stronger, that's the side you want to exercise. Okay?
Okay. The only two exercises that I can do every day are the two twisters, one sitting and one lying down. Those two don't seem to cause me any problems. So.
Good. And you're only doing it, you're checking both sides, then you're only doing it to the side that's easier?
Yeah. Yes.
And after you're done with it, do you notice, is it better, worse, about the same? What do you notice?
About the same, I think.
Okay. So yeah, you want to do it, and you want to check the opposite side, see if it's made a difference. And somebody's trying to click on with us here. Laura Jones is trying to click in. And then what we'll do is, after you've done it on one side, then you go back and check the other side to see how it feels. Okay?
Okay.
Because you're always trying to do something that's causing an improvement and more balance, because the overall picture of what I want to try to get people to realize is you've got to get your body balanced right side versus left side to put it in an optimal position for healing. Okay?
Okay. I tell you, your tip about shortening your stride, I did that when I was out, and that really helps.
Good. Yeah, because when you're taking a normal stride length, you're pulling a little bit on your hamstring, which pulls on your sciatic nerve. And if you shorten your step length up, that won't pull as much. And so, motion is lotion. I want people moving, but I just don't want them aggravating things. So you've got to do what you can, and with as minimal of aggravation and irritation as possible. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Okay. Thank you.
Good. All right, Miss Mel, you look much more comfortable in your house than you did in the hospital the other week.
Oh, God, it's so much better. The only problem is I'm trapped.
Yes, you got a cat laying on top of you. That's why you're trapped.
Well, there's that. Plus, I have steps going out of my house, so I can't actually get out of my house.
Ah. So what are you doing in your house? What are you doing in your house to give you some relief?
I'm walking up and down with the frame, which I have been doing, but only weight bearing small amounts because it is still very painful. Okay. Sitting down is still painful as well, but I'm trying to extend the period of sitting down. Okay. So at the moment, I can manage about 20, 30 minutes sitting down before I have to retire to the bed.
What I would say with the sitting, do as much as you can until the pain starts. You don't want to push into pain and see how long you can tolerate it, because as you push into pain, your body starts compensating again and throwing things out of balance.
Right, okay. We're going to make an attempt to get me out of the house tonight.
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I've actually managed to push an appointment because I wasn't due to see the consultant for another 6 weeks.
Okay.
And they discharged me so fast out the hospital on Good Friday that I didn't know. Oh, sorry, can help the way. I didn't have any instructions as to whether I was getting any physio or anything. I wasn't given any instructions to do what to do when I was home, as in exercise-wise. Obviously, I've been doing your exercises and just gingerly walking on it when I can and sitting down when I can.
Okay.
So they really rushed me out that hospital really quickly. It took them 3 hours to discharge me. That was it, and that included getting ambulance transport.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of troublemaker were you in there, Mel?
I wasn't, I promise. But they really couldn't get me out that hospital quick enough, so I didn't get a sick note or anything. So I managed to get hold of them last week and said, look, I need to know what I'm doing. I'm still in a lot of pain, even though I'm on boatloads of painkillers and everything, although I'm trying to restrict the amount of oral morphine I'm on. I'm only taking it when it's really bad. And they gave me an appointment for tomorrow for the consultant. So I'm going to force myself out the house purely because I've got to. So,
okay.
And then I got a phone call today from the physio saying, oh, you've been referred. So rather than coming to me, I've got to go to them. And they've managed to make an appointment for the same day. So I'm hopefully going to them in the morning. So we'll see how that goes as well.
Okay. Is that through the NHS or are you going to a private physio?
That is through the NHS.
Okay. Yeah, be interested to hear how it goes. Don't let them stretch. Tell them that you don't want to be stretching the painful side.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
Good. So overall, though, hey, getting out of the house tonight's great for your mental health too, isn't it?
Oh, like you wouldn't believe, because I've been so frustrated and bored being stuck here. I know I've got loads of Kindle books I could be reading, loads of catch up I could be doing. Just nothing's holding my interest at the moment, and I am bored out my tiny mind.
Yes.
So apart from being trapped by pussycats, I'm trapped mentally and physically. So not doing very well at the moment.
I hear you. Yeah, you know what? The mind has a massive, massive effect on pain. They're doing a lot of brain studies because the brain holds in a lot. And other things other than obviously problems in a disc or a back or a nerve, stress, the things you think about, all those things actually have an effect on your brain, as well as the brain has a memory. So if you go to reach for something and it's painful, guess what happens the next time you go to reach? Whether you have that pain or not, the brain is on edge. And that's why a lot of what I do with training the opposite side, it settles down that brain memory so that when you go to move the painful side, that it's not going to automatically start guarding for you, that you'll be able to move a little bit more comfortably. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got Rosie, and Jonesy. All right. Laura Jones, where are you from? I just unmuted you.
Hi. I
Hi there.
am from Maryland, the Eastern Shore of Maryland.
All right. So we have an American. So how are you feeling, Miss Laura?
I'm doing good. I guess possibly better than she's doing laying in the bed. So I work from home,
Okay.
and also I do have another job, but both of my jobs are basically sit at a desk.
Okay.
So I sit a lot of times at my desk and stuff like that. I have always had a issue with my knee, even from when I was like a teenager.
Okay.
But it definitely became an issue in about 2001 after I had my daughter. Actually, the first time that it happened, my daughter was 6 months old, and I was putting her in the backseat of the two-door car in her car seat, and my knee locked up. I couldn't bend it. It was in a bent position putting her into the car. I couldn't unbend it. I couldn't move it to get it out of the car. I was literally put into an ambulance, and she had to be taken also in the ambulance to the hospital because I couldn't move that knee without extreme pain.
Okay.
It happened another time at work where I was down on my knees and I couldn't get back up. because it had locked up. It happened once when I was giving her a bath. I mean, different times like that. And now it happens at
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
The wonders of modern technology.
Yeah.
Come on, Laura. Come on back, girl. Oh, there you go. You froze there for a minute, Laura.
oh, okay.
You said it's happened every once in a while, and it's happened, and then everything went dead.
Yeah. So now it happens sometimes, like when I'm sitting, I tend to cross my legs down at my ankles, and there's just a little pop. Sometimes it's getting out of my truck or in my truck. It's the twist or the angling of that knee sometimes that I can feel the pop, and I'm like, I know it's out. And at least for that little bit, I have a hard time putting weight on it, straightening it completely, bending it. I cannot do, well, okay, so the one thing that I can't do, I have done some physical therapy.
Okay.
The thing, my left leg, I could put my foot up on my knee, but I could not do that with my right leg. But
Okay.
the thing is about my hip pain is in my left side. The bad knee is my right side. But when
Okay.
I have that experience of it, what I call locked up is it's my whole leg from my foot up to my butt and hip is just tight.
Now that's
And
all on the right side because of the knee, or on the left side because of the hip?
that's all on the right side because of what I call my knee locked up is what the best way that I can explain it. But my left side, what I have a problem with right now, and this has kind of always been, but it's getting worse now, standing for 5 minutes at a time. 5 to 10 minutes, I'm in pain. I've got to go sit down. I do my housework in spurts, basically, because, standing at the sink to wash dishes, I can do a little bit of time and then I go sit down, and I don't need to sit down for long, but enough to relax my back, and then I get back up and I get going again. And the same thing kind of with walking long distances. I can walk for a while as long as I can sit down every few minutes, I don't know, I could probably walk for a good 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay.
And at a good pace. Actually, I have a harder time if I have to slow down or stop and stand in one place.
Now, is that more because of your left knee or your right hip?
Usually because of the right hip more than anything else, because the right knee is really only when it's locked up. Like right now, I got through about 2 weeks ago, I had the issue with my knee being locked up, and that was the first time I've had that in about a year.
Okay.
About a year ago, I had the shots in my knee, not the cortisone or cortisol shot, the fluid where they take some fluid out and put some fluid back in.
Mm-hmm.
I've had that done in actually both the knees, and I hadn't had any problems with my knees in quite some time. And then all of a sudden it happened again.
All right. Here's what, just going through my mind as you're talking. If you've been having problems in that left knee for a while, subconsciously, you've probably been favoring that left leg and walking a lot more on that right leg, keeping the right leg on the ground longer than the left. And when you've been standing or moving, you've probably been doing more with that right hip to try to protect that left knee subconsciously. Mm-hmm. Now your right hip's going, all right, I'm done with you. I've been carrying the load for so long. And that's probably what's going on there. Now, when you say that the pain, when you're saying that when you're standing and walking, the pain is in the right hip only, the leg on the left is the one that gets hurt from the foot all the way up? Or do I have that backwards?
You have the sides backwards. It's my right knee and
left
leg.
Hip. Okay.
And left hip. Yes. But
okay.
Yeah, the left hip, the only thing I know, as far as you're kind of right that I do compensate a lot on that left side, especially when the knee is locked up. If I stand, I don't know, I think when I'm not hurting, I stand pretty evenly, but I'm not really sure about that. My left side, I was in an accident back in the early 90s in which I'm lucky that my hip wasn't broken. I was in a car and we were hit. I was the driver. We were hit by a log truck in the driver's side. I did not have my seatbelt on, and I had a Chevy Nova with the bench seat.
Gotcha.
So because I didn't have my seatbelt on, I slid across the seat.
Okay.
Away from the impact. I was bruised from my hip, actually even above my hip, down to my ankle on
Right.
that whole side. But that's the only other thing that I know of as far as an injury to my hip. But it is definitely, it's right above the hip. I carry all my weight in my fronts. So I just feel like sometimes when I'm walking, I feel like if I can just kind of curve my back, almost do, I know that cat pose, in yoga, that's what I feel like I want to do with my back all the time, because I feel like my back is like curved that in, and I just want to curve it out, that if I could just make it go, make the curve go the other way, it would feel better. And I try to do that pelvic tilt, sometimes when I'm walking, but I can't do it for long. But it does tend to help a little bit sometimes.
Okay. So are you having any issues right now whatsoever?
I'm sitting right now, so no, not right now at the moment. The only issue is, like I said, when I'm standing for a long period of time, I get the back pain. My right leg is actually doing pretty good right now.
Okay. All right. So right knee, left hip. Now, if you were to poke on your left hip with your left hand, is there something tender back there, or does it feel like it's in too deep to touch?
All I can say, nothing is tender to the touch like that right now. But if I were to get a deep tissue massage, I don't think I could stand it.
Okay. Now, you said you can't cross your right heel over your left knee, correct?
That is correct.
Go ahead and give it a shot right now and tell me, is it tight, stiff, painful? How would you describe it? And then we're going to see if we can't get you to cross your leg over by the end of this call.
The highest I can get my foot is just below my knee. That's the highest I can get it. It's too tight to lift any farther.
Okay, now is it tight in the hip or tight in the knee?
In the knee.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to sit back again. I just want you to take your good leg, you don't have a good leg, but your better leg, your left leg, take your left knee, or hold on a second, I'll put this down. I just want you to sit and go like this with your left leg up and down nice and slowly 10 times, okay? Can you do that?
Yeah.
No pain?
Some.
Is that more in the right knee when you're hitting it or in the left hip?
It's in the left thigh, not necessarily the hip, more the thigh.
Not where your normal pain is. This is just more muscle. No. Okay, this is a good pain. I rarely ever say that, but if it's muscle working, that's okay, just as long as it's not something that's aggravating.
So I can barely do this leg. I can do it better than I can do the other leg.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now what I want you to do, I want you to grab onto that left ankle and pull it up onto your right leg as high as you can. So you're doing this. What do you feel with that?
A lot of tightness in the knee.
Now, is this tightness in, this is the good side knee, right? This is the bad hip side, good knee side.
Yes.
Now, the tightness that you're feeling in that knee, is that a similar tightness to what you feel in your right knee when you try to lift it up?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Okay, but not as tight as the right side.
Yes. It's just not as bad. I mean,
Okay.
I just not even get to the point of even doing this.
Okay, so hold that up for about 20 seconds and let it down, and do that 2 or 3 times for me with that left leg, okay? So are you from Maryland all your life, Laura?
Huh?
You from Maryland?
I had family that lived in Oklahoma, that lives in Oklahoma, or
Okay.
lived in Oklahoma, so we lived there for from 86 to 92.
86, okay.
So my high school years and early college years.
So you're over 40 then?
Yes.
Hush.
What's that, Mel?
Hush.
Hush.
You had to point that out.
Hey, well, I'm older than her, okay? Let's just put it that way.
All right. So I've
Just
done
let them know the lady's age.
Well, Rosie's only 26, so don't mess with her. All right,
I've done
Laura.
it a few times. So I hear popping, but it doesn't. I hear that pop in my other knee, and I would be like, I would know that something is wrong.
Now, what have the doctors and the therapists said about that? I want to get this right. The right knee. What do they say is going on?
I mean, I've had orthoscopic surgery years ago. He said there is tear in the meniscus recently. When I've done the MRI recently,
Okay.
but at my weight, they won't do knee surgery.
Okay.
Their thing is lose the weight, and we'll see. Lose the weight one, and it will be better, and we'll see about surgery.
All right, let me tell you something about knees and doctors and meniscuses. Menisci, I guess it would be called. I'm looking at a form. I don't think I could share my screen because we're recording, or can I? Let me see. Oh, no, we can. All right. Can you guys all see this screen?
Yeah.
All right, look at this. Is this abnormal or just part of life? 43 out of 44 people without symptoms between 20 and 68 years old. So, Laura, you fit in there. 43 out of 44 people had at least one meniscal abnormality found on a scan. No pain, no problem. So I tried to nail this home with people, and it's hard for people to grasp it. But just because you're having pain, and just because an MRI shows something wrong with the meniscus, or you've got a bulging disc, some people get in their heads and their brain messes with them. I've got a bulging disc, therefore I have pain. The disc isn't going to unbulge, so therefore I have to live with pain. That's what your brain does. That's not true, because most people live with bulging discs. Many people live with herniated and protruding discs, or prolapse disc, whatever the terminology your specialist uses. Most live with it without any pain. That doesn't mean that it can't cause pain and that something doesn't need to be done to it. But most people live with these things on the same form. Degenerative disc at age 50, 80% have degenerative disc disease going on in their back, in their neck. 87% of people have disc bulges in their neck, and these are all people without any pain. And then in the shoulders, they took 72% of people between 45 and 60. So that would be at least 3 of us on here, maybe 4. Rosie, you're 51.
Not me.
All right. So they have tears in their labrum, or a slap tear is what they're called. 72% of the people had that tear. But guess what? If I went to the doctor with shoulder pain, they did an MRI, and they said, oh, you've got a slap tear in your shoulder. You know what the first thing that they do is? One of the first recommendations is, hey, you know what? If you don't want an injection, let's just do surgery and fix it, because it's broken. Yet 72% of the people that they test have the same type of tear and no pain. So just because you have a meniscal tear, now I'm not saying the meniscal tear is not the problem. Because if your knee locks up and some of the symptoms you are talking about, I would have guessed that you had a meniscal tear, because it sounds like that tear is flipping up on itself every once in a while, locking things in place, and then it jars loose. But they're finding, and you are you are now part of the statistic that if you do have a knee surgery before you're 40 years old, you have a much greater chance of having further knee issues down the line than if you took care of it conservatively initially.
Well, the other thing is, you did say arthritis. I have limited fluid in the knees, and it's bone against bone, basically.
Right. All right, now let's try something with you before we have you try to put your right ankle up on your knee, okay? When's the last time you put your right ankle up on your knee?
In physical therapy, probably about a year ago. I was actually kind of showing off to the physical therapist to show her that I could do it.
Okay.
And my knee popped.
Okay. So.
But I had done it a few times successfully without it. So I know that when I get stretched and when I'm doing the exercises, I know it does feel better. So I know kind of what to do, but at the same time, now I've gotten to the point where I wasn't necessarily having this left side back pain then. This is definitely added. Like you said, the other side is just saying, look, I quit.
Yep. The body is amazing at compensating, and that's why getting things balanced out right side to left side is key for everybody. That's why when you look on the page, people go, all right, is this normal? It started out in my right low back, and now it's traveling down my leg, but every once in a while it's on the other leg, and actually my shoulder hurts every once in a while. I mean, it can flip-flop, it can vary, and especially when it's a nerve problem, it can go from tingling to numbness to pain to dull ache to sharp ache to shooting pains to nothing. People have a great day and they go, I'm over it, and then they wind up doing a little bit more than they normally would just because they're feeling better and they're not thinking, and that's normal, and it just irritates it right back up. I try to tell people, think of a electrical wire that has a nick in the coating of it, and you touch it. I mean, it's going to zap you. Guess what happens if you keep on playing with it? It's going to continue to zap you. If you leave it alone, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to get zapped. So not that you can leave your sciatic nerve alone, because you do have to move, you do have to function, but the more you play with it, the more you stress it and not let it calm down, the more you're going to get zapped. So let's have you sit on the edge of your chair, Laura.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want you to do, I want you to twist as far as you can to your right side, and then twist as far as you can to your left side, and tell me which direction feels looser, more comfortable, less restricted, easier to turn to. Which way do you like more? And I sure hope you say your left side.
I'd say the left, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you're going about 3 times further to the left.
Really?
Yes. All right. So what you're going to do, you're going to go nice and slowly, 20 times to your left side, okay? And hey, just so you guys know, I am recording this because some people asked if we could record this session and put it on the Facebook page. Does anybody have a problem with it?
No.
No.
Ooh, don't know about that.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. No problem.
Okay, if somebody had a problem with it, I can edit it and put a big black dot over your face if you want. Nobody will know who you are.
Oh, that looks so cool.
There you go.
No, I'd like a bit of fame, so it's fine with me.
Okay.
You get my pussy in it and everything.
Okay. Your little kitty. What's your cat's name?
Tigger.
Tigger. Okay.
I have 4, and in the past week since I've been home, twice I've had 3 lay on me.
There you go.
They're all trying to take care of me, bless them.
Yeah, animals know, don't they? They really do know.
Very clever.
They're smarter animals than we are.
Okay.
All right, Miss Laura. Now try to take your right heel and put it on your left knee for me. Tell me how it feels compared to what I did before.
It's getting higher.
Okay.
Way.
If I can pull on my pant leg. So normally what I do to put on my shoes and socks, or if I need to do something with that foot, I sit in my chair, my couch, and I put it up on the couch.
Okay, then lean forward.
Mm-hmm. I don't even necessarily need to lean forward really that much if I do it that way. So it's still up the way that it would be, but it's just not twisted over my other leg.
Okay. So when you say it's getting up higher, is it a noticeable difference?
Almost touching my knee.
Okay, so definitely easier.
Yeah.
Okay, so then what I want you to work on then is taking that left leg. Now, when you were twisting, that wasn't painful, was it?
No.
Okay. Anything that I ask anybody to do, if it causes pain, I tell them to stop, because when you're causing pain, you're aggravating symptoms that cause you to start compensating, and that's what we want to avoid, because if you start compensating, throws things further out of balance, and you're just adding to the mess of things in your body. So your homework assignment, Miss Laura, is unless the left hip gets sore when you're doing this, a couple times a day, 10 to 15 reps, take that left leg, bring it up, and put it on your right knee. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay, the
I know what
correct
you're
way.
saying.
Okay, and then after you've done that, then hold it up for about 20 seconds like we did before, pulling it up as high as you can to get a stretch but no pain. All right, in your left knee. Left, yes. Okay. Your left hip is your bad hip, your right knee is your bad knee. Yeah, I do know my left from my right, just I get confused at times.
So as far as getting in cardio, I mean,
Okay.
what is recommended as far as trying to do walking or machine as far as like elliptical?
I would do an elliptical before a treadmill, because on elliptical, it's nice and smooth walking. You're not pounding anything. It's better on your knees and better on your back.
Yeah, I've always liked the elliptical better than a treadmill.
Yep, and if you want to work your quads really well, try going backwards on it.
So the other day when I did try elliptical, the front of my thighs were burning. I mean, I got 3 minutes. I mean, I really got to build up my endurance for the elliptical.
Yep.
I mean, 3 minutes in, and I was just like, okay, I gotta stop.
You know what? Most people, when they start out doing something new, they can't last very long because those muscles have not been doing that. So, shoot, if I went to try to go jog around the lake out here, I might last 25 or 30 seconds before my heart would start going, what are you doing? You haven't run in a long time. Because I'm not a runner. But I've been trying to slow jog, and I'm jogging and walking and jogging and walking because I got to lose about 20 pounds so I can be back to where I was about a year ago. So, yeah, but just slow. Just remember, you're not doing this because you're going to get your results like that. I wish everything happened like a microwave oven and we can pull it out 30 or 45 seconds later and it'll be all fine, but it takes time.
So when I'm at home, my work at home, I am pretty much tied to the phone and the desk chair. But my other job, I can get up and move around a little bit more. Is there something that I can do like every hour or so, that a quick stretch that I can do?
When you're at home?
Well, my other job is at a hotel, so
Okay.
that's the one that I could probably get up and move a little bit more. Whereas when I'm home, when I'm working, I'm pretty much tied to the chair.
Well, you're tied to the chair, but when you said you're tied to the chair and the phone, do you have a headset or do you have something? Okay, so you can put in a headset and guess what you can do? I mean, you can be on the phone up and down 10 times, sit to stand. That'll work your legs, or you can stand up and walk sideways, side to side. Do some mini squats, just as long as you're up and moving, because like I tell everybody, motion is lotion. Don't do it if it's painful. If you find that sidestepping to your right causes pain in your hip or your knee, sidestep to your left. And if that's no problem, sidestep to your left, turn around, left to the other side, turn around, and just keep going to the left. And then see what happens when you go back to the right. You'll be surprised that it probably won't hurt nearly as much. So anything that you can do pain-free. And just remember, you're in a marathon race, you're not in a sprint. So you want to train and move as if, okay, from a year from now, I want to be able to be doing this 50 times better. But if I start off trying to do that right now, I'm going to be out of commission for the next 2 weeks because I'm going to be so sore because I haven't done this in a long time. So I mean, we all want instant results. but it takes the constant day in, day out balance and discipline to get where we want to go. So is that helpful?
I mean, I definitely, I mean, I can almost feel a difference in just sitting in the chair right now. I mean, just this amount of time, sometimes just sitting in the chair, I'm ready to get up and go get out of the chair for one thing, especially this chair. I've told my husband, it's that chair. So, and it might be to some extent, but right now, I mean, if I can just find things to do to alleviate some of it, maybe I can get the longer periods of time in the chair without the pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes I get to a point where I don't feel the pain sitting, but when I feel the pain is when I go to get up, even when my knee has been locked up.
Right.
Driving, oh my gosh, one day when I was driving home, it's very painful driving.
Okay. Is that the knee or the hip?
When my knee is locked up, it's very painful. It's it's right leg.
Okay, so now when the right leg locks up, what I want you to start doing, take that left leg and move it a lot. Just sitting, but keep moving that left leg. And then also that twisting rotation, or the twisting rotation, the twist or the rotation. Little secret, anytime I get a knee patient that comes to see me for any type of knee pain, any type of knee discomfort, any type of knee tightness, first thing I have them do is trunk rotate. Whichever side is looser, more comfortable, less restricted, I have them do that multiple times. And now, just out of curiosity, slide the chair back a little bit, twist to your left and twist to your right. And I want to see if Rosie and Mel can see any type of difference. All right, you're still going very good to that direction. Still very tight going to your right comparatively, at least from the angle that we're seeing on the camera.
Okay. I mean, I feel like I'm getting a good stretch going to the right.
Okay, when you go to the left, does it feel like a stretch or does it just feel nice and loose?
It feels good.
Okay, so I want you to go 25 more times to your left side. And let's see if we can't loosen up that right side a little bit by doing that. Mel or Rosie, any questions with what you've been hearing?
No.
No, I don't think so.
What it used
My
to be
big
with my
thing is
knee
patience.
was the hamstring. If I could get my husband to do the hamstring, like to push my leg up, that always helps. But I don't know. I haven't done that hamstring thing in quite a while.
Maybe try next time stretching the hamstring on the good side and see what happens.
Okay.
Because I try to tell people, if something's tight and stiff and you go to try to stretch it, you're basically pulling on it, making it tighter and stiffer, and your body's going to fight against it. But if you actually stretch the opposite side that's looser, more comfortable, and less restricted, generally that tightness loosens up. And Mel, I missed what you said before.
Patience is not one of my virtues.
Yeah, it's not very many people's virtue.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, no, I am very frustrated at the moment. I just want to be able to get up and go, and it's not that easy.
Yeah.
But thank you for all you've done for me so far. Just having you contact me every day and saying how you're going and what you're doing, it's been really helpful.
Well, good. I'm glad. All right, Miss Laura, now try twisting to your right once, and let's see if we can see any bit of a difference.
Way.
That feels good.
Okay.
I mean, and I have been trying to do that rotation thing. I remember doing that in school. I'm like, well, we used to always do that in school in our desk. Like, I don't do that twist anymore.
Right. Right. Were you grabbing onto your knee?
I was getting ready to try the other one.
Go ahead.
I think it's the height of this chair that if I was on my couch, I might be able to.
Okay. So is that leg going up higher though?
A little bit, yeah. It's getting to my knee, but I just can't quite grab it.
Okay.
What time is it?
All right.
Dean.
What's that?
Dean, I have to leave you, sweetie. Nice to meet everybody.
All right, Mel.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
You too.
All right. Miss Lady on the iPhone is
I'm Mitlesh.
Midlesh.
Hi.
It's okay.
Now, where are you from?
I'm from London.
London. Oh my gosh. Lose one Brit and gain another one. So what's happening with you, young lady?
We spoke once before regarding my sciatica.
Right. That was a
Do you
while
remember
ago.
we did a session that was a free trial?
Right?
Yeah, and I think I'm recovering. I just did once with you and then just carried on. I'm a physio by background. Do you remember we spoke? My sister's a physio as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so right now I've only got pain in my hip and just the tingling sensation in my foot. But I am on pregabalin as well, which is helping, the neuropathic painkiller.
Okay. So,
But I've been suffering since January, the sciatica.
okay.
Started with my hip pain, foot pain, and then I didn't stop working. I carried on working. And then one day I just couldn't get up from bed. This was in beginning or middle of Feb. But then since then I have been suffering really badly. So I've been on lots of different kinds of drugs, naproxen, this and that, and gabapentin, and finally now on pregabalin, which is working. And tramadol is the painkiller.
Okay.
But I don't feel I'm 100% back to normal.
Okay. What are you feeling right now? What can we try to work on and see if we can't help you out?
Okay. I have pain in my left hip. I'm just going to sit up. And yeah, that's it right now. It's just a pain in my left hip right now because I've just taken my pregabalin as well.
Okay. And is it in a certain position, certain activity? What seems to really aggravate it?
So when I try to shift my bum from one side of the bed to the other, I can't lift my bum, which is called the bridging. I can't do that in bed. And also when I get up from bed, that is difficult. Apart from that, when I start to walk, I get pain in my left knee as well. Yeah, as I try to get up from bed, it's the pain in my left knee, which is the nerve pain. Yeah, and behind my knee. Yeah.
And it is the left hip also, true? Everything's on the left side?
Everything is on the left side, yeah.
All right. How's it feel when you trunk rotate to your right side and then trunk rotate to your left side?
Oh, it's the hip is bad and the thigh. So if I can't do to the right. Right is less painful than left. So yeah, right is okay.
Let's try 15 times to the right side. And Mitlesh, this is being recorded. Do you have a problem if I put it on the Facebook page for people to watch?
Yeah, no, I don't have any problems.
Okay.
You know, when I'm doing this, I'm just getting tingling sensation in my foot. It's like pins and needles in my foot. I don't know. I should do it.
Now, was it
15?
Was it numb before or was it normal before?
I get numbness sometimes, but it wasn't numb as I was speaking to you, no.
Okay, I don't want you to keep going then because I don't want to increase the tingling. What happens when you take that left ankle and put it over your right knee and lean forward? Does that stretch out that left cheek and hip? Is that painful?
So my left ankle on the right knee?
Correct.
Yeah.
How does that feel in the bum?
That's okay because I'm externally rotating my hip as well, so.
Okay, what happens
That's okay.
when you lean forward and stretch out that piriformis? Is that painful?
Okay, you mean like this?
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not that bad.
Okay, how does that feel if you switch to the other side? Does the other side feel, I'm assuming it'll feel more comfortable, but it may not.
That's okay as well.
Okay, not a problem.
Piriformis is fine, no problems.
Okay, how about sitting on the edge of the bed, left heel on the floor, and let's have you lift that left knee up into the air.
So left heel on the floor, and then lift my leg up?
Yep, lift that leg up, a straight leg lift with that left leg. How does that feel?
I can't lift it, that's really hard.
Okay, so bend that leg, and now what I want you to do is take your right leg and put your right heel on the floor and lift that one up. And that should be no problem.
That gives pain in my left knee. That's bad. The right one. If I lift my right one, I get pain in my left knee.
All right, so then instead of lifting the leg, what I want you to do is grab onto that right knee like this and lift with your arms so you're not using your leg, and tell me if that feels better. Nope, your right leg. There you go. Straighten the knee out and lift the leg up. Pull it on up with your hands. So pull that leg up towards your chest.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right, now try to keep your knee as straight as you can and do the same thing. Straighten out that right knee.
Yeah.
All right, so I want you to lift that up and down about 10 times for me, okay?
Jean, sorry to interrupt, but I'm going to have to go and sit into a comfortable chair now. So
No problem.
I'll
Thank you
leave
for
you.
joining us.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh.
Done.
All right, repeat it. One more set.
Sorry, Dean.
Go ahead and do that one more time.
Okay.
Can't get rid of us, can you, Rosie?
I'll get there in a minute. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
All right, now try to take your left leg, straighten it out, and lift it up, and tell me if that feels any better.
The same way I did the right one, yeah?
Yeah, without the hands, though. Remember the first time you tried to lift it and you said you couldn't lift it? So let's see if you can lift it now.
Yeah, I can lift it now, honestly.
Okay, now stand up, move around, and tell me how that left hip feels.
My left leg, I can't take the weight.
Okay. Now, where's it causing pain when you're doing that?
Back of the knee, front of the knee.
Back of the knee and the front of the knee. Okay. Now, when you're doing the trunk rotations, is it still easier going to the right side?
It's okay.
How about the left?
Oh, no, left is painful.
All right, let's have you 25 times twist to your right side for me.
Shall I place my feet flat on the ground, or if they hang on the edge of the bed, that's also fine?
Try to keep them, if you put them flat on the ground or at least touching the floor, that'll be a lot less stress on your back.
Okay. That's really painful, Dean.
Going to the right is also?
Yeah, because I get tingling sensation in my foot now. I don't know why. It's pins and needles, all that. Cramps also.
All right, you know what? Sitting there, go ahead and just march that right knee up towards your chest. Without your hands this time, just bring your knee up to your chest like you're marching in place.
Yeah.
No pain at all with that?
Left is slightly painful under the thigh, but right is no pain.
Okay, let's do that 20 times then, unless it gets more painful in the left side.
Just the right side?
Just the right side, correct.
1. Yeah.
Okay, take a break and do 20 more.
Yep. Done.
Okay. Now go ahead and try to lift that left leg up and tell me how the left leg feels when you lift it straight up. Are you able to lift that up now compared to what you were before?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Now stand up and move around a little bit and tell me how you feel.
I did that 4 times, the left one. It was fine, but
Okay, perfect.
the pain in my hip. Oh God.
Just the hip, it's not in the knee and the foot anymore?
No, it's not in the knee. It's in the hip now. Just the hip.
Okay, is it tender to touch in the hip or does it feel like it's deep down in?
Just a thing.
I'm sorry?
Sorry, it's not tender. It's just painful hip now.
Okay, go ahead and sit back down. And when you twist to the right now, does that cause the tingling still in the left or foot or no?
No tingling, no.
All right, let's have you twist 10 times. If the tingling comes back, you can stop.
Okay. Right, to the right, yeah?
Correct.
It's the pain in the, okay. 1. Yep. Done it. Yeah, sorry.
No problem. Don't be sorry. Go ahead and stand on up and tell me how the hip feels. I think I lost your sound for some reason.
Sorry, have you?
Oh, there you
Hello?
go. Hello. How's the hip feel?
Yeah. Hips is still painful on the lateral side, just on the outside.
Okay. Is it any better than it was?
Not really. Oh God.
Okay. Go ahead and have a seat. What happens if you put your hands together like this between your knees and do like an isometric adduction?
Or I can put a pillow.
You can. Yep.
I've got this round pillow, so I can put this.
Perfect. Sorry for those of you who don't understand what that means. She's a physical therapist, so I know I can talk to her like that.
Yeah, I'm squeezing the pillow. Yeah, that's not a problem.
That is a problem?
No.
All right. So hold it for 5 seconds and do that 10 times for me.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Now stand up and see if that helped. Laura, you're welcome to exit anytime you want, you're welcome to stay too.
Okay. I actually am. I'm doing something, but I'm kind of listening too.
Okay.
But I got up to go to the bathroom and actually, I don't know. I mean, just in that short walk, I feel a difference, even though, I mean, my knee's been okay. I felt the difference even in just that walk, that short walk.
Felt the difference positively?
Positively, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. Midlesh, how's that feel?
Still feel the pain, Dean. I think I've taken my painkiller since morning today.
Okay.
Just taken that neuropathic painkiller, pregabalin. But when I try to walk.
Okay, go ahead and have a seat. And what happens if you put your hands on the outside of your knees and try to do an abduction or like an external rotation isometric? I'm assuming it's going to be painful.
I can do that. Just a second. I'll try and sit on the other side of the bed. Just a second.
No problem.
So just on the outside, yeah? No.
Correct.
Okay. And try and push against them.
Push the hands on the outside of the knee and try to externally rotate. Is that painful on the left?
Yeah, it's painful on the left, yeah.
Okay, so let's have you do the right knee only. Push into the right knee with the right hand, and hold that about 5 seconds. Do that 10 times. Or if you want to do it, you can move to the wall so that you're pushing into the wall to make it easier on you, if you'd like.
Yeah, the left one is painful as I touch the knee. That's tender.
Okay, so don't even mess with the left. Just do the right leg only. 5-second holds 10 times, young lady.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, you did 10?
Yeah.
Good. Take a break and do it again.
Sorry. Hi, Dean.
All right, now stand up and move around a little bit and tell me how that feels.
Still painful, my left leg. Can't walk.
All right, what gives you the most relief?
You know what? I'll be very honest with you. I went to an osteopath this morning and he did something with this massaging. I think some massager. He said I got this exported from US, from United States. And it's like the ultrasound machine with the probe, but it was like a massager. And he did that into my left hip. It's made it. I don't know whether it's worse or good.
Okay, so it wasn't feeling this bad before?
To be honest, not really.
Okay, so let that give a chance to settle down. And if that doesn't help, next time go in and say, do me a favor. Work that on my good side, not my bad side.
You know what? I think that has aggravated the pain. Whatever I do, it has done something to my muscle because the pain was more localized after he did that electronic massage or something. It's like more, it's more, in the whole hip now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas prior to that, I could only feel at one. I mean, I couldn't tell you at which point I had the pain, but I could see that it was just in one point, but it was quite deep in my hip. But now I feel it's all around my hip muscle.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just wondering if you're just having the soreness from what he did and it'll calm down over time.
Shall we then wait and then we come back to you afterwards, isn't it?
Yeah. Get in touch with me in a day or so and see what happens, and maybe we'll jump on another call, all right?
Sure. I'll do that.
You take care. Thanks for joining us.
Dean. Thanks for your time. Sorry about this. I thought
do not be sorry. All right. Take care.
Dean. Thanks.
Bye-bye.